dressed up in a brown wig, which I actually liked her in a brown wig, but I did not need to see her in her lingerie because, frankly, Vanessa is kind of built like me, you know? There's not a lot of curves for her to be dressing all sexy, no offense. What is up, Beyond the Gates fans? I am here to talk about today's episode, a special Valentine's Day episode, even though, they're a little late on that, but better late than never, I suppose. Now, actually, Paramount Plus must have messed up and put this episode up last night, so I was able to watch it this morning, which means I didn't have to watch it live. That also means I don't have screenshots from today's episode, though, so I will just be talking about it. I enjoyed it overall. It was Valentine Day themed, and we got to see a little bit of various couples and, situationships and their problems and their good things. Obviously, Vernon and Anita had a sweet, loving Valentine's Day, as they should. Anita's been going through it. Vernon's been by her side. She started today's episode taking a nap, feeling weak from the chemo still, and just everything that's been going on. And Anita, happy to see that Vernon has Valentine's Day gifts for her. She sang for him a little bit. They danced. And I think for Anita and Vernon, today's episode just once again showed them to be this show's stable patriarch and matriarch couple that they should be. They had a sweet Valentine's Day today. Nicole was having a Galentine's Day with her daughter, Kat. They were out together. Kat is still getting used to this living single Nicole, as she called her, but is happy that her mother chose Kat to be the one to spend Valentine's Day with, or Galentine's Day with, over her various male suitors. However, while Nicole and Kat were out, Nicole kept getting texts from Carlton, kept getting texts from Kial. She was flirting it up with them. She even said sexting up with them later in the episode. Nicole was distracted by the second half of her little get-together with her daughter, although Kat was also texting Tomas, hoping they can have a good Valentine's Day night. But Tomas, who is new junior partner at Bill's company, couldn't get away until very late, so Kat and Tomas not having a special Valentine's Day at all. Not surprised, even though that show lately has tried to tell us that Kat and Tomas are this good couple that are so happy together. Everything we've seen from them has been the opposite. I don't think they are a happy couple at all. I will say, and I saw some Kat fans saying this on social media today, that at least Nicole actually seemed to treat Kat as her miracle baby today. And that's true, because that's another thing the show likes to tell us, that Kat is Nicole and Ted's miracle baby. But they always dismiss Kat and all of her feelings a lot. So today was one day where Nicole actually seemed to treat Kat as her miracle baby, choosing to spend time with Kat over Carlton and Kial and her male suitors. Ted and Shanice were out together for Valentine's Day. They ended up running into Dani and Andre, who were also out together. Like I said, we got to have a little bit of various couples today. Dani was thanking Andre for giving her the confidence to get back into modeling, to be the face of that new designer's thing. And I think that's what Andre was hoping from that situation. We've seen him really want to prove to Dani that he is going to be this wonderful husband, this supportive husband that she never had with Bill. And so far, Andre is following through with that. Even if some of that is to try and keep her away from Bill, which may not work in the long run. But for right now, it seems like Dani is thankful for Andre for doing all of that. As I said, Dani and Andre ran into Ted and Shanice, and they had a little squabble with Leslie. Before that, though, Leslie was out with Eva at Orphe Jeans, asking Eva about where her future son-in-law Isaiah is. Leslie was scoffing at Isaiah meeting her at Orphe Jeans of all places, when he should be doing something much fancier for Eva. You know, now that Leslie has money, she tries to be very elitist herself, whereas Eva still likes things low key, doesn't need something showy. Eva wants Isaiah to just do sweet gestures that he knows she will like, which is what he ends up doing in this episode. He arrives with flowers. Leslie tried to tell Isaiah and Eva that they're doing things too poor today for this holiday. And Eva called out her mother on being dateless for the night and how Leslie has all these rich desires, but here she is with no man. And I think Eva did strike a nerve with her mother with what she said there. Leslie left in a huff. Eva and Isaiah enjoyed their low-key Orphe Jeans date, and Isaiah ended up giving her a necklace that she really likes. I think what these scenes today proved with Isaiah and Eva is that Isaiah, from what we're seeing, really seems to care about Eva already, really seems into Eva, is trying to match Eva's energy, and so far doing a good job. I still think their relationship could have more substance, but I also think that Isaiah might really actually be like the support that Eva needs, similar to Andre and Dani, and how Andre is trying to be the supportive husband for Dani after she was in that terrible marriage with Bill for so long that was just so toxic. Eva has grown up without any real support system in her life outside of her mother, who is wacky as hell. So I mean, I like them today. I did enjoy the Eva and Isaiah scenes, even though they can be boring sometimes. Leslie, spiraling after Eva struck a nerve with her, called Marcel but got his voicemail. Marcel seemed to be ghosting her, even though it's Valentine's Day. She left a message saying she would be scantily clad at the hotel waiting for him. Later, Marcel called her saying he's at work, he's in the middle of a late shift, he's only halfway through his shift. He says they didn't have any plans anyway. And Marcel was kind of a dick to Leslie on the phone. She ended up hanging up in a huff, but turned around and ran into Shanice, who was with Ted and Andre and Dani. Shanice had a great line telling Leslie she better keep her panties on tonight. And Leslie started saying maybe she should show Ted what he's missing, and did her usual spill, saying she would end Ted's rebound to Shanice. And then Dani and Shanice basically double teamed Leslie, which was nice to see. I don't know why we didn't see more of this when Leslie was screwing over Nicole, though. I feel like Dani did not let her claws out enough with Shanice during last year, when I think she should have, because as we know Dani is not one to stand down from a verbal sparring session, and she wasn't today, even though Shanice didn't really need the backup. But I feel like in the past, Dani could have been more backup for Nicole where Leslie is concerned. But I think the shift is that the show is not treating Leslie with kid gloves anymore, like they decided to do the entire second half of last year for some reason, where Leslie always had to get the last laugh or the real cutting lines. I think more and more people are starting to call Leslie out on her shit. And Leslie went home at the end of this episode, looked in the mirror, and we haven't seen this side of Leslie in a long time, but she used to look in the mirror and try on her wigs and be a fucking cuckoo bird. Well, this time she threw something at the mirror and broke it. And I don't know if this is a sign that Leslie is about to go off the deep end anymore. Maybe the writers have decided that they tried the whole humanizing Leslie thing and it kind of was all over the place. So maybe they are deciding to take Leslie off the deep end again. Maybe she is about to do something extreme. I'm kind of here for it. I kind of hope so. I want Leslie to stay a villain, We don't need her to be superhumanized anymore because I don't really think that was working anyway. Lastly, we had some other things today I'm going to go over quickly. Haley and Bill had their little Valentine's Day. Haley still has her black eye. At first, Haley was disappointed that Bill didn't really plan an exciting Valentine's Day, although I think Haley was really upset that Bill was not giving her a flashy Valentine's Day. Haley is kind of the opposite of Eva in that respect. They commiserated over the fact that Haley's her mugger, is still out there. But then Bill did have a big surprise for her. He got Haley the house in St. Bart's. So at some point we are going to move along to St. Bart's, and I think that's where Haley is going to try and quite literally put the nail in Bill's coffin. But I don't know when that will actually be. We had Vanessa and Joey on today. Vanessa was her usual slut pig self today.
You're a pig. You're a slut. Nobody's touching.
Dressed up in a brown wig, which I actually liked her in a brown wig, but I did not need to see her in her lingerie because frankly, Vanessa is kind of built like me, you know? There's not a lot of curves for her to be dressing all sexy, no offense, but that's how I saw it. Joey was not really interested in Vanessa's games at first. Vanessa had him blindfolded, put him in handcuffs, tied him up, was questioning if he really trusted her because he didn't really want to do all of that, didn't want to like let go of control, but she made him do it in the end. I still feel the same way I felt about this storyline for months now. I don't care about Vanessa. I don't want to see Vanessa and Grandpa Gangster in these supposed to be sexy scenes that were not sexy. They were cringy. So it didn't really work for me at all. I just wish there was more of a point to Vanessa's character. I still don't understand Vanessa's character other than the fact that she is the town slut pig. That's how I felt about her today. Lastly, Smitty and Martin had their little Valentine's Day too. They got each other gifts, and Smitty didn't exactly love Martin's gift for him that they were going to take a trip to Costa Rica because Smitty is in the middle of a major investigation for his investigative reporting. We know that's the story with Jacob, and I do still feel that either Jacob or Smitty is going to be in a lot of danger in this storyline, or I think at least one of them should be because that's going to raise the stakes in the storyline. So not a lot with Smitty and Martin today. It was good to see them a part of the Valentine's Day episode, but it just kind of gave us an idea that Smitty is still in deep with this Jacob story too. So overall, I enjoyed the day. Some things were better than others. I don't need any more cringy Joey and Vanessa sex play shit. But outside of that, I think we got some strong storytelling out of the day.